All right. So why do good people, talented people leave direct selling companies, network marketing companies? That should be a question that every owner, C-level executive, top distributor should get their head wrapped around, because good people don't leave companies that are treating them well financially and in other ways. And I just find it fascinating seeing the numbers of really solid people, like talented, eager, hungry, willing people go into a company and then they're gone. And so I'm just kind of surprised that more owners and people in upper executive ranks corporately don't go, okay, hey, what's the problem here? Because again, I mean, this is like I all I do is talk to owners, C-suite people, and top reps. That's like 99% of the conversations I have daily. And I'm surprised at how few of them dig and figure out, like, what's the problem here? Like, if I was running a network marketing company as an owner and I had really talented people that came into my company, were there for a period of time, whatever that period of time is, a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and then they're gone, not out of the industry, the profession, but they're on to someplace else, and then they're over there. And it's like, why did we lose that person? And, of course, attrition is something, turnover is something that is common in every profession, in or out of the direct sales model. But I hope some owners get this, and I hope some high level distributors get this. And the challenge is, and I had a conversation actually with an owner last week, and we can say, and I kind of covered this briefly, or just a sliver of this on another live about a week and a half ago, but it's like, why aren't there more conversations, like open communication that takes place between high level distributors and owners? Like, comfortable, it's like this should be a team, cooperative working relationship. It's really, ideally, it's like the company is providing the products, they're calculating the commissions, they're shipping out checks or paying people on time. If there's a problem with the product, they have good solid customer service, so the end user consumer that comes to the table, that's being brought by the field, the sales force, which is, I mean, it's mandatory, right? You got the company that's providing the products or services, the backbone, the genealogy software, all the stuff. And then the marketing arm of any direct sales company is the independent distributor. It's not some salesperson at corporate that's out there selling the product to end users. It's hundreds of thousands or tens or hundreds of thousands of people that are out there telling the story, sharing the product, sharing the business opportunity. And we can, this is where this conversation was interesting. Like, we can say it's not us versus them, but unfortunately sometimes it becomes us versus them. I don't think it should ever turn into us versus them. We're going to, like, you guys are providing the products, we're selling the stuff, we're building. We should be like this, working together tightly, getting along. And I agree, like, the reality is sometimes things take place and there are issues. But here's what I found. And I don't want to, I guess I'll generalize, because I have multiple companies in my mind as I'm thinking about this. Like, when there's like, again, good people don't leave good companies. Like, and like, why do, like, if we're talking about business builders, people that are there to build a business, to make money, to provide for their families, if they're making money, for the most part, they're not going to leave. If they have this reliable, residual, repeatable income that is stable or growing, they ain't going to go anywhere for the most part. Now, granted, sometimes they do, but most people don't leave those companies. So if you're an owner or a C-level executive, and you got people rolling through that are like, man, that person has historically built very big teams. They came over here. They were here for 6 months. Now they're over there at this one of our competitors, and they're crushing it over there. Wouldn't you want to know why? And I find that it's just so seldom that people actually address the problem. And I think a lot of it has to do with, if there's an issue, like, here's the deal. There's always going to be stuff, and you can't keep everybody happy. Like it's not the network marketing company owner's job to try to like satisfy every individual need. Cause it's like, then, you got this open door policy. Then it's like, oh, I don't like the purplish pink letter on the box. Could you change that? I mean, it's little stuff like that. It's like, if you keep it too open doors, then, you're creating a wide open situation for people to come and bitch and moan and complain. But there are legitimate complaints and issues. I know companies where, they change the supplier, and you got people that have got a base of customers from that particular product, for example, and they didn't notify or say, hey guys, just so you know, like, we've had to make some slight adjustments, and they just try to sneak it in. And then, the consumers are calling like, hey, what happened with this product? It tastes different. And they don't even tell. It's like, there's like no communication. And so all of a sudden phone calls are, hey, what's going on with the product doesn't taste as good, or the results are, it's like they kind of were trying to sneak it in there, sneak the change in there without communicating. And I've said this many times. I do firmly believe that one of the keys to any successful cooperative relationship, whether it's business or a marriage or anything else, revolves around having open, truthful, honest conversations with one another. And if that can't exist, then you're going to have challenges. Like if a distributor is fearful of a mid or high level distributor is fearful of communicating something to the company, and they're fearful of being an outcast or being, they're no longer going to take your calls because you're perceived as a complainer, or, they'll just keep their mouth shut. I mean, I know leaders in multiple companies that are completely afraid to communicate to corporate, even though there are real existing challenges and problems that do need addressed, but they're so scared to communicate because of what's going to happen if they do. And it shouldn't be like that. So, and I'll just say this real quickly. Like one of my roles outside of training, education, driving, helping the field drive sales for network marketing companies is being a liaison between the field and corporate. Because over the last, I'll just say my tenure in network marketing, I've developed a reputation for being someone that people can come to and they can share stuff with me, and they know it'll never get shared with anybody. And so one of the roles that I'm doing, how do I want to phrase this? I'm trying to come up with the right word. I'll say, I guess, officially, and I'm doing this already for a couple of different organizations, but if you want somebody to be the person in the middle between all the leaders in the field and corporate, I'm your guy. Because what I can do is the field leaders can come to me and go, hey, this is an issue, like whatever that issue is. And then I can take it to corporate and go, okay, guys, this is what some of your field leaders are saying. And they're going to say, well, who's saying it? I ain't going to tell you. Sorry, corporate. That's like the barrier between corporate and field leaders. The reason that they haven't come to you now, up until now, is because they're afraid. And I don't think there should be this degree of fear that your reps that are out that are the sales force driving sales, growing your company, they shouldn't be afraid to talk to you. And it's like, I mean, again, it's like I think about just relationships in general. If every time somebody comes to you with a legitimate complaint, a legitimate issue, problem, something that needs to be addressed because it's blocking or preventing or slowing down sales from happening, and every time that person comes to you with an issue, whatever, like you blow up on them, that happens a couple of times, they'll never come back to you, and then they don't. Then the problem that needs to be addressed isn't being addressed. Then sales are dissipating, recruiting is dissipating. And then ultimately over time, they're going to go someplace else because their needs are not being met. And so it's just fascinating to me why more companies don't have this clear, open line of communication between the field and corporate. If I owned a network marketing company, I'll say this again publicly, I'm not going to ever. I have no desire to. So I'll put that out there. I did 2 weeks ago. I said this on live. I will never run or own a network marketing company. If I did, I'd be like, okay, and I got these good people. This would really bother me. I don't know why it doesn't. It's like, oh, I've talked to owners who are like, oh, well, yeah, it's just the way it is. Like, people come and people go. There's turnover. I'm like, okay, I get that there's turnover, but if somebody comes to your company and they can't win there, but then they go win someplace else, that would keep me up at night. That would bother me. Like, okay, wait a minute. Why is it that they came over here and they were here for a period of time and things didn't work out for them, but they're working out someplace else? And I mean, I've even seen it where somebody comes into a company, they can't make it happen in that company, and they go to a competitor that actually has very similar types of products. Like let's just say, okay, weight loss, for example. They go from one weight loss company where they can't make it happen, but then they go to this other weight loss company and they can make it happen. And I'm not even talking about the effectiveness of the product. But again, I don't need this to be super long. I just think I'm planting a seed for you guys today. The whole idea of open, free-flowing communication should be there. And if it's not, and there's, because it just like the people that are out in the field building, they know that the video that was disseminated out of corporate does a sucky job of like telling the story. There's no social validation in the video. There's no call to action. It was done by a marketing person or a marketing team at a network marketing company. And some of them are fantastic, by the way. I know some incredible marketing people, but a lot of marketing people in marketing departments, they are marketing people. They don't really fully understand the needs of the field. And again, I'm not hammering at all marketing people. I know some incredible people on marketing teams in network marketing companies, but I also know a lot of them where they have no real understanding of the needs of the distributors because they've never been there, done that. So the advantage that I bring to the table, and you can feel free to reach out to me, anybody, whether you're a field person, you're like, hey man, we'd love to have you as a liaison between corporate and us or whatever, or vice versa. You know how to catch me. I'm not hard to get a hold of. And then I can be that buffer between the company and the distributor. And let me also be clear. I'm not looking for a job. Okay. Not looking to have some 3 letters CSO or anything like that attached to my name. I'm fully independent and I do this for more than one company simultaneously where, That's just one of the other roles that I play. And I also have a very deep understanding of the field. It's all I've ever really known or done is the field side. So the needs that the field has, I know what those are. And if the company is not providing the things that the field needs, and I'm not going to go into explicit detail and sit here and start listing out all the items, but you ought to be, if you're an owner, I really think going, okay, why do we have so much turnover here? And turnover happens for a number of reasons, but if the biggest problem that I would, this is where I would have you just sit and think for a moment. If people are coming to your company and you got good products, most companies have good products, some great, some good, some mediocre, some exceptional. You got good products. Let's go in the middle there. And then that person comes for a period of time and they win someplace else. And you keep having people come to you. They're not winning with you, but they're winning someplace else. And you're not actively trying to address that problem. You won't be around long-term because it's like, and I've seen 3 or 4 companies where I've seen like quantities of really talented individuals go, and like some of the most successful names in the business couldn't make it there, but they make it elsewhere. That would keep me up at night. I would not be able to sleep. I mean, again, people don't typically leave if they feel like they're valued and that they're being compensated. Again, yeah, sure. Sometimes I've seen people leave $100,000 a month checks, and not very often, very seldom. I've seen a lot of people bail from a $20,000 a month check to go someplace else because they just didn't feel, I don't know. It's like they didn't even really care about you. And I don't know. It's like, if I was an owner, again, I'm going to say I'm never going to be one. I would really want to know why are you dissatisfied? Why did you leave? What could we have done differently? And those are just questions that ought to be asked. So again, I don't know. I don't really have any kind of call to action or anything today. I just got back from my river property. I got to go back up there Wednesday for a couple days, learn how to run an excavator. I guess all the video games I played in the late 70s and early 80s served me well. So that was fun. But yeah, just a few thoughts for a Monday morning. So yeah, that's why I haven't done a live in a few days, because I was at the river property digging a gigantic stump out from a white fir. So hope you're having a lovely Monday. We'll see you next time. All right, cool.